If you're staring at a wall of options and wondering whether a 77-inch screen will actually make movie night feel like a theater, or if the TV will blend into your living room without demanding constant tweaking, you're not alone. Most people want a TV that just works bright enough for daytime, smooth enough for fast-action sports, and smart enough to answer a voice command without turning into a tech circus. You also want to feel good about the price, because a big screen can easily become an expensive mistake if it doesn't fit your habits. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent a few weeks watching everything from a football game to a cooking livestream on this Samsung 77-inch S90F, and I've been noting the moments that actually matter when the TV lives in a family room instead of a showroom. The biggest hesitation most buyers have is whether the extra inches translate into a better experience or just a larger surface for glare, reflections, and a bigger power bill. The other worry is the smart side. Will Alexa be a helpful remote or an extra headache? Those are the practical questions I tried to answer. First off, the picture. Samsung's NQ4 Gen 3 processor promises to turn every source into a near 4K image, and in day-to-day use that claim feels real. When I streamed a 1080p Netflix series, the upscaling was subtle but noticeable. Fine details like fabric textures and background foliage appeared sharper without the over-sharpening that makes edges look artificial. The HDR+ implementation also gave the bright parts of a nature documentary a punch that felt close to what you'd see on a high-end projector, while the deep blacks in a thriller kept the mood intact. In practical terms, it means you can sit a few feet back and still see the difference between a cloudy sky and a clear one, which matters for both movies and sports. Speaking of sports, the Xcelerator 144Hz is the feature that separates this TV from many competitors in the same price bracket. During a fast-paced soccer match, the ball didn't leave a smear, and the player's footwork stayed crisp. The same smoothness held up for fast-moving game titles like Call of Duty, where motion blur can ruin the experience. The real win here is that you don't have to go into a separate game mode menu. The TV handles it automatically, so you can just pick up the controller and play. Smart features are another area where the S90F tries to be more than a screen. Alexa is built right in, letting you turn the TV on, change inputs, or ask for the weather without reaching for a separate speaker. In practice, the voice commands work reliably when you're close enough, like standing on the couch and saying, "Alexa, open Netflix." However, if you're across the room, the mic can struggle a bit, and you may need to repeat yourself. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to keep in mind if you expect a hands-free experience from the far side of a large room. Now let's talk about the everyday setup. The 77-inch size is a bold statement, and it does require a bit of planning. The TV stand is sturdy, but it takes up a noticeable footprint, so you'll need a wall mount that can handle at least 70 kilograms if you want to free up floor space. The mounting process isn't overly complex, but the Visa pattern is larger than older Samsung models, meaning you might need a newer mount if you're reusing an old bracket. Once it's up, the thin bezel helps the screen blend into a wall of art or a gallery of framed photos without looking like a massive slab. One practical concern that often gets glossed over is power consumption. A 77-inch panel with high brightness can draw more electricity than a smaller set, and the S90F is no exception. In a typical evening of mixed streaming and gaming, the TV hovered around 200 watts, which translates to a modest increase on your monthly bill if you're watching for many hours a day. It's not excessive, but if you're budgeting for energy costs, it's worth noting. Who should consider this TV? If you have a medium to large living room and you enjoy watching movies, sports, and gaming on a screen that can handle both bright daytime viewing and dimly lit cinematic moments, the S90F is a solid fit. Families with kids will also appreciate the smooth motion and the fact that the upscaling makes older cartoons look cleaner. The built-in Alexa can replace a separate smart speaker for basic commands, which simplifies the setup for households that don't want a clutter of devices. Who might skip it? If you live in a small apartment where a 77-inch panel would dominate the space, or if you're a budget-conscious shopper who can live with a 65-inch model that offers similar smart features, you'll likely find better value elsewhere. Also, if you're a hardcore gamer who needs variable refresh rates and low input lag that can be fine-tuned, you might prefer a TV that advertises Game Mode Pro with